Messi has his say.
When you think you've seen it all in boxing, Sabalenka being crowned champion, once again showing the world why he is the greatest. Left hook on the temple, unbelievable.
We start with a special showcase bout.
It's an absolute monster of a lightweight. What a moment! A history-making goal!
She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That is how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill. The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
How do you like it? Off the shoulder.
So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys.
Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Here we are, back in the kingdom, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for the big one. It is the undisputed heavyweight title fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk.
Are you ready? Let's get this party started!
The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury.
Beating Usyk now puts me #1 status.
Let's get it on. Oh, huge right hand.
I've been waiting a long time to fight with Tyson Fury.
He's a wizard, he's a master.
Do you believe this?
I prepared for this fight for 22 years. This fight.
He's getting knocked out.
I more speak in the ring.
I'm destined to cement my legacy as the #1 fighter in this era.
Here we go, back in the kingdom for something very, very special. And it doesn't get any special, does it? Then the undisputed heavyweight title fight, Oleksandr Usyk bidding to become a double undisputed champion as he takes on the Goliath. That is the current WBC lineal champion, Tyson Fury. That's the main event, but there is so much more to come. We kick things off with David Nyika versus Michael Seeks, battle of the unbeatens in the cruiserweight division. Sticking with the cruiserweight, Sergey Kovalev, the former light heavyweight king, takes on the unbeaten Swede Robin Safar. Mark Chamberlain, His Excellency's favorite fighter, takes on Nigerian's Joshua Hab. And then we go to the big boys. Moses Titama, the unbeaten Brit, takes on Ilzar Mazenchev from Germany. Frank Sanchez versus Agit Kabayel will battle it out as the battle of the unbeatens to really take that next step to world level. And then it's all about title fights. Joe Cordina versus Anthony Kakachi, unification fight in the super featherweight division. IBF and IBO titles on the line. Jar Bataya versus Marius Bradis, a rematch of their fantastic fight 2 years ago. The same belt on the line this time, the vacant IBF cruiserweight belt up for grabs. And then, well, then it's something special. Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for everything in the heavyweight division. But before that, remember, we head to the main card. Two exciting looking fights for you here in the Kingdom Arena. Isaac Lowe versus Hasbullah Ahmadi, and Daniel Lapin, part of the Oleksandr Usyk's team, takes on Portugal's Octavia Pudavica. Chris, this is absolutely something special, isn't it? This is incredible. As we make our way down where the fighters are going to walk, all of them are going to make this walk. You come out here, Chris Mannix, and you're just blown away by just how good the Kingdom looks.
Yeah, I was here back in December for the Day of Reckoning card. That was an impressive arena, what we saw on that night. This is just something extraordinary. I mean, just the technology, the amount of money they put into this type of event. And I think the arena, the energy here is going to be unprecedented for this area. There's going to be 20,000+ fans in this building tonight. And based on what we saw on Friday, a lot of those fans came over from the UK. So we're going to have maybe the largest number of Brits here in Saudi Arabia for this big event.
Yeah, we're hearing around 5,000 Brits have actually traveled over from the UK for this one. So the noise in this arena is going to be really fantastic come main event time. I want to clear something up with you. There's been a lot of talk about Oleksandr Usyk's weight. Michael Buffer, the great Michael Buffer, called him on the scales yesterday. We all heard it, 233 pounds. We believe this isn't the case. You spoke to Usyk's Cam. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I think we were all astonished when we heard 233 pounds for Oleksandr Usyk. He weighed around 221 for his last couple of fights. It turns out Michael Buffer had a bit of a miscommunication with the person who was reading the number off the scale. I spoke to Agus Klimas, the manager of Oleksandr Usyk. He told me Usyk weighed in at 223.4. So instead of being up 12 pounds from his last fight, he's only up 2 pounds from his last fight. He still looks great. He still looks like a tank, but not quite as big as we thought on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Oleksandr Usyk normally raised in around the 221-pound mark, so 223 makes a lot more sense. All right, our first fight of the evening, Isaac Lowe takes on Hasbullah Ahmadi. You can see Isaac Lowe in the dressing room now getting ready. Remember, Isaac Lowe, part of the Tyson Fury training camp, and he's always wanted to appear on Tyson Fury's undercard, and he does it once again. It is for all the big stages, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, as well as Wembley and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Needs a big win here to get back to fighting for big title fights in the featherweight division. The commentary team are ready. Mike Costello, Barry Jones, and Sergio MC. So let's throw it to Thomas Treiber for our first fight of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get things started in the featherweight division. Let's first welcome to the ring from Dubai. Here is Hasbullah Ahmadi.
Here we go then on this hugely important night for the sport of boxing. Who knows what will unfold in this majestic arena over the course of the next 8 or 9 hours, and we get underway with this crucial night, as Ade was saying, for Isaac Lowe against the 23-year-old Hasbullah Ahmadi. As we heard from the MC for tonight, Thomas Treiber, from Dubai, born in Afghanistan, and has faced many a challenge long before becoming a professional boxer. left his home country of Afghanistan because of the various conflicts there in 2017 at the age of just 17. You saw there, according to the fan zone and those of you tuned in at this early stage, that Isaac Lowe heavily favoured to win this against Ahmadi.
And now let's welcome to the ring from England, Isaac, the Westgate Warrior, Lowe.
Well, there's a bridge and there's a river that I still must cross as I'm going on my journey. Oh, I might be lost, and there's a road I have to follow, a place I have to go. Well, no one told me just how to get there, but when I get there, I know, 'cause I'm taking it.
This vast arena, the stage set for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world to come later on tonight here in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. And here a man who's been a fixture in the Tyson Fury camp for so long. At the age of 30, as he climbs the stairs, he knows that this could be very important in terms of the staircase of his career. Returning after 2 defeats in a row a couple of years ago, and now on a winning run of 3. Has been in the professional ranks for almost a dozen years, and you'd have to believe that as he marches towards the ring, that he might just have one last tilt at cracking the top end of the featherweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ring of Fire, a great night of World Championship Boxing, live from Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions and Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated. In conjunction with Riyadh Season, National Events Center, the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Gold Star Promotions, K2 Promotions, and Sella. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Robin Smith. We get things started with 10 rounds scheduled, and it is an international featherweight contest. Our timekeeper is Dale Elliott, and when the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Mark Bates of England. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with red and green and weighed in officially at 127.7 pounds. A native of Afghanistan, he is now fighting out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and has a professional record of 16 wins, just 1 defeat, with 5 wins. Coming by way of knockout, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hasibullah Ahmadi. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with red and weighed in officially at 125.5 pounds. Coming to us from Morecambe, England, he brings a professional record consisting of 24 wins, 2 defeats, 3 draws, with 8 wins, coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Usyk, the Westgate Warrior, Lowe.
Okay, gentlemen, you both had instructions in the dressing room, so you know what's expected. Remember, get your punches up, obey my commands, and protect yourselves at all times. Good luck, gents. Touch gloves.
John Fury among those in the corner with Usyk Lowe here tonight, as Lowe looks to give a boost to the Fury camp early on in the proceedings here in the Kingdom Arena. Usyk Lowe with a chance here tonight to really give a boost to his career. He is on a winning run of 3 after suffering 2 defeats against world-class opposition a couple of years ago. Gets a chance to continue in the winning groove here against Hasib Ahmadi. As Thomas Treiber was saying, a native of Afghanistan, and his shorts decorated in the colours of the Afghanistan flag.
Here we go, Mike. What a night we have in store for us. And this one, a potential banana skin, really. He's a bit of an unknown quantity of Muddy. From what I've seen of him, he's a tidy boxer. He's quite strong, nice tidy defence, slips and slides. But we just don't know how good he is. He's just not been tested like Lowe has. But Lowe, if he wants to push on to big fights, big meaningful titles, then he has to get past this, and in my opinion needs to look good. He looks big in there, I must say.
Yeah, he started off the right way, hasn't he? He took the centre of the ring here using the jab. Ahmadi likes to come forward, likes to roll forward and put pressure on you. I think take the centre of the ring here, the initiative here from Lowe, and it's a really good start for him.
Barry Jones and Darren Barker alongside me at ringside here for the first of 10 fights on the bill, and Usyk Lowe getting to work with some impressive fluency with the left hand in particular over the course of the first half of the opening round.
Yeah, he needs to be busy with that lead hand, and it's not just a jab, he throws a nice long left hook, nice left to the body, really bends the knees and turns the hip into the shot. And I think the uppercut's there for Lowe as well, but good work from Ahmadi, jumping in with a left hook. Stocky powerhouse of Ahmadi.
Doesn't need to be close there though. That's a nice little right uppercut there, and he felt that Ahmadi a little bit. But Logan, he can push him back, but he can keep the punches long. If he gets close, he allows Ahmadi to fire back and have some successes we saw just a few seconds ago. If he just keeps working the jab, working behind that left hand, he can push him back and it'll be more effective.
Yeah, it's the shot, it's the uppercut, lovely shot. I can see it's the elbows are so wide of Ahmadi. And obviously being the shorter out of the two, again, you're seeing that uppercut land again. This is nice boxing from Lowe.
A particularly strong left hook landed there, and Ahmadi was forced to take a backward step.
You see the confidence there, can't you, from Lowe? Punching from range. With even the left hooks, just a little feint before he throws that left hook to the body at times.
Took a left hook there. Good shot from Ahmadi. Really, really good opening round from Usyk Lowe.
What's he got saying? Turn around. I'll join them.
One time, stray dog.
You've got the instinct. Now, get the training.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Don't wait.
That's it.
Don't try to go for hard punches. It will come. It's easy. No power. No power. No power.
It was a really, really good opening round from Isaac Lowe. He just grabbed the opening round by the scruff of the neck. He's just letting that Maddie know that he's in deep here.
Second time, round 2.
We did see there, though, just the sign of danger with the left hook in particular from Ahmadi, and there he lands it again at the beginning of the second round. But we also saw work being done to just the first signs of a swelling beneath the right eye of the Afghanistani, because Lowe himself landed a couple of very solid left hooks in that opening round.
Just going to be putting a bit more power in that jab. Just a bit more weight in the left hand, though. He started off like that, and see, he'll caught with the left hook again. Every time he gets close, he allows Ahmadi a chance to do some work. So he can win this. He could potentially win this fight with one hand here, though. Yeah. Just using the jab.
Yeah, he's got to be better. The variation with that left hand is so good, but he's got to be a lot more tight with that right hand up by the temple, because, like you say, Ahmadi has found the home for that left hook a few times already.
I would say that already in this round, Ahmadi looks a lot more comfortable than he did in that first round, and looking to push forward here. Ahmadi should let that right hand go low through that left hand, brought it back to his chest, and there was a chance there for Ahmadi to dip the legs and rip over with that right hand.
Yeah, you can see a difference in Ahmadi here. The confidence creeping forward, trying to get on the chest. I looked in the corner of Ahmadi after that first round, and they were saying, get close, get on the chest. At range, there's only one winner here.
Good shot there from Ahmadi.
Trying to look for that right hand over the jab at Ahmadi. I think it's where you start feinting if you're low. Try and draw out that right hand, and you can counter with your left hook, or look for that uppercut.
It's a lively start to the night. Both men are landing solid shots here, aren't they?
I think they both understand how much a victory here will really push them on. Such a big stage, as you can see. They're both eager to impress.
More so for Lowe. More catastrophic if he wouldn't get the win tonight, if he couldn't get over the where his career goes, or his aspirations to get to the back to world honours, or world level, I should say. It's much better for like that. A little feint, 1-2. Ahmadi's taking the centre ring. He'll try to push back a bit, and
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax, web upgrades, I own them. Better design, e-commerce, and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
Stance, boom, sharp, white down, boom. Just land clean. Don't just rush. You can't land. Okay? That's it.
just going to see probably the favourite shot here from Lowe. That nice little right uppercut, just knocking the head back at Ahmadi. Then when they both held their feet, they had the right little battle in the centre of the ring for a few seconds there, both punching, landing, and wanting to commit themselves. So it sort of caught fire with there in the second round.
And in between rounds, referee Mark Bates just having a word with the Ahmadi corner about his use of the head during that second round. Into the third, scheduled to go 10 here, beginning in the featherweight division, leading all the way to the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah, there may be a little nick around the left eye of Isaac Lowe. Can't see any blood, but when it initially happened, I see a little something there, so nothing to worry about at the minute, but just needs to be a bit sharper. I think we're getting the hands back, the jab, the recoil, get that back to your chin. That right hand has to stay higher when you're throwing the double left hook. Just a little lazy in defence, that's good work.
He's better when he throws off the feint there, though. See when he's a little bit fidgety with the shoulders, and when he's a little feint with the front foot, it gives him a little bit of space, just let his combination go a little bit more fluently. And for Ahmadi, for me, I think if he just doubles up that jab a little bit more, that'll just allow him to step with the feet and get a little bit closer to do the more effective work that he can when he's up close.
Again, he's wide open for the uppercut, Ahmadi. Especially when he's mounting attacks to the body. He really does lean over that front foot. He's cut now, Ahmadi.
Enough of a command of the English language to scream, watch your head. Good shot with the right hand by Lowe there as they get back into the fray halfway through round 3.
Almost landed with the right hand there, Ahmadi. I think he did slightly land, but it wasn't full rotation on the shot. Good little contest, this.
So be careful, though. He looks like the snappier punch of the two. Just be careful he doesn't get drawn into a fight that gets himself in a little bit of trouble. He's a nice, sharp boxer, and I think that's where he needs to apply his skills here.
Yeah, I think you're right, Barry, as well. Just a bit more purchase on the jab. Really stab it out. He's kind of using it as a rangefinder at the minute, trying to drop the left to the body or the right to the body. Stick it out there, really ram it down the throat of Ahmadi, who, to be honest, is boxing nicely. He's doing the right thing. He's trying to get on the chest of Isaac Lowe, who's kind of taking the bait. He's trying to mix fire with fire. We shouldn't really be doing that.
Maybe a panic there in Ahmadi with that cut. Maybe just looking to rush his work a little bit here.
He's got one defeat on his record, Ahmadi, by an Aussie, Dana Caldwell, in Dubai, where he now lives, a couple of fights ago. That one on points over 8 rounds.
Rated T for Teen.
What an atmosphere it is. Refusing to lose, refusing to give up. Been floored by the headshot. All right, just keep discipline. Stick in that jab, stick in that jab. Walk onto him, all right? You don't have to go looking for him, he's coming.
Let's have a look and see where that damage to the eye come from. Yeah, clash heads, and I did think it was a matter of time. They're both eager to get stuck in, let the shots go. Accidental, of course, there. It's not one Ahmadi will want at this stage in the contest.
Let's see then what the corner have been able to do for Ahmadi in terms of stemming the flow of blood into round 4.
Just reaching Ahmadi. Again, the double jab will help him bring that front foot forward to land with some more shots. But he's got to throw and he's got to dip to the left or the right every time. He's got to keep that pendulum motion in his head. At the minute, he's coming forward in straight lines, and that's just allowing Lowe to sort of pick him off or step back and land with the right hand over the top.
He started this round sharply. I think he's been giving clear instructions. Lowe, he's boxing nicely, nice little spring in the step. Sharp shot, sharpen up that. There's that loose right hand again. Ahmadi finding the left hook, but Lowe did land a right of his own. Good fight, this.
Ahmadi apparently undeterred by the shots that at times are raining onto his chin and down around the body area as well, almost immediately firing back after every low attack.
But he needs to fire in bunches, doesn't he? But his hardest job is just getting close to the target quick enough. Lowe's still nice and fleet-footed here, changing direction with the movement.
Nice job. Just grazing the target, but that right uppercut. That's the shot though for Lowe. He's in a bit more of a groove here. He's doing the right thing, frustrating that Maddie. Maddie will be desperate, he'd be willing Lowe on to exchange with him. That's better, good shot. Heads again.
Because he comes down, he's always looking at the floor on Maddie when he comes forward, and that's why that uppercut's always going to find a home. It's like I say, you got to throw and move his head every time.
As frustrated as he must be at Maddie, and he is showing it at times, he fancies this. He's trying to get close, like I say, being left frustrated at times, but he's having success with that left hook. He's just got to try and mount an attack more than the one shot.
Dominant here though, Lowe. Really has been. It's been a very good round for him.
Lovely, Isaac. Come on.
That's the shot, just missing though, but doing the right thing, especially when Maddie throws the body shot, because he is really low.
And he's kept it at his range this round, which is what you were both saying earlier on.
Yeah, just look, I understand why he's looked to impress and exchange with Maddie, but at this range, he can make life very simple for himself.
That's all you've got to do. You've got his number. Do that.
Or you're out. Keep the distance.
Yeah?
You're doing
away
good.
from you. Okay?
You're breaking him down.
Come in there and catch his punches. Okay? If you move around, stay far. Stay far. Don't make him play you. And when you're close, make sure you counter. Bam, 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 bam. Okay? Don't give his rhythm. He's playing. Bam, bam, bam. Don't give him that. You know what you're doing. Yeah?
Here you see Denis Kolesnik, the man there charged with repairing the damage to the left eye of Hasibullah Ahmadi.
Just a much better round there for Isaac Lowe, I thought. For me, he was just more fluent with his work, and I think he relaxed a bit more. He was using his feet, and when he gets that little bit of bounce to his step, it's just more smooth. His work's more smoother. He's done the combinations easily, and I thought that was his best round to date.
So a good round for Isaac Lowe in the fourth, but Ahmadi still very much in the contest.
That was better from Lowe. 3 shots and just skipped to his left instead of standing in front of Ahmadi. Better from Isaac Lowe, but again you see in the intent from Ahmadi trying to get close, trying to get on that chest.
Ahmadi's feet are just a little bit too slow.
Yeah, he just can't spring in quick enough, can he?
He wants to get work, and when he gets close, he can be quite effective, of course, but he doesn't throw enough punches when he gets there, and he just can't get the target quick enough to stop Lowe from letting the punches go.
Yeah, better movement as well from Lowe there. Don't like seeing him backed onto the ropes. He doesn't need to be there. That's exactly where Ahmadi wants him to be. So now he just needs to pivot off, make his way back to the centre of the ring, so he's always got space behind him with right hand. Got to stay switched on Lowe.
Not the first time Ahmadi's gone looking for that right hand over the top.
You look at his record, Ahmadi, only the 5 stoppages and the 16 wins, and that surprises me really, because I wouldn't say he's the biggest single puncher I've ever seen, but the work rate, the intent to really put a damage in his opponent surprises me really.
But he doesn't throw in blusters, you know what I mean? He might be continuous pressure, but there's singles. Even if he throws 10 shots on a trot, there's single shots, if that makes any sense. He doesn't throw in bursts. I think he needs that, to put pressure on people to make a mistake.
Sometimes those stats can lie, can't they? We're going to watch later on Joe Cordina against Anthony Kakachi, and Kakachi likewise, single-figure stoppages, but Carl Frampton sparred many, many rounds with him. It tells you that he punches like thunder.
And even Joe Cordina's record, you know, the knockout against Agawa. I mean, that's serious power generated by the speed. And yeah, looking forward to that one later.
Cordina against Kakachi on the main card. One of the world title fights, the IBF Super Featherweight crown held by Cordina at stake as we move into the last half a minute here in the featherweight division. And Ahmadi getting through.
He is coming good left hook from Ahmadi then. As Lowe tried to escape, he put himself square on the ropes. That will take a decent right hand as well. So for Ahmadi to work off now.
He has fancied this all week, hasn't he? You know, you've seen in his demeanour, the way he's held himself. He's always, I mean, we see that the head-to-head at the weigh-in. He really does fancy this.
Well, here we are in the Kingdom Arena, but next week, after more than 2 years of waiting, bitter rivals Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall finally meeting in their hugely anticipated rematch. It's in Leeds for DAZN subscribers in the UK and the rest of the world. Don't miss it next Saturday, May the 25th. This fight not available, though, in the US or Canada.
Fight, give everything you have, yeah?
With defense, smart. Don't get, if you
that guy will just go straight to us, go, okay?
Don't move.
When you're inside, what's when you're inside?
We don't like it.
You understand?
We don't like it.
He doesn't like it.
Okay.
All right. Remember, you'll come out now and have a go with it a little bit. Yeah. Tuck up, move. Don't fucking get having around with it. Second time. Round 6. Oh, you need to beat Isaac.
So we're at halfway, and Isaac Lowe surely in front on the referee scorecard, but Ahmadi just showing in that 5th round that he's still got much to offer.
Oh, heads again, coming close. And he needs to build on that Ahmadi at the end of that last round. It was a good finish to the round.
Because even though he's behind it, Ahmadi, this constant pressure, if it can have an effect, and he can keep that intensity, maybe, or keep the fitness level, then he might start to turn the tide here.
Just looking for that right hand. Just close the space. A little quick, Ahmadi. Not allowing Isaac Lowe to find the right hand. Good right hook, yeah. Good shot.
Just looped around there, just around the guard there. A little bit low to get the left hand there, Ahmadi, but it's still a good shot. But then the left hook back there from Ahmadi. You just got to be careful, those little lacks defensively. Get himself into trouble.
He's looking to trade at Ahmadi. I'm surprised we've not seen many feints from Isaac Lowe. You've got someone ploughing forward, looking to land big shots, trade with you. That's when you feint, draw out the lead. Natural counter puncher is Lowe. Better movement from Lowe, getting back to the centre of the ring.
Just not quite spot on there, that uppercut was the right idea.
Put your head this way. Go back, take a step back, keep your head up, okay?
Isaac Lowe, 2 defeats in his career came when he stepped up into world class. Consecutive defeats a couple of years ago against Luis Alberto Lopez, who next time out beat Josh Warrington for the world title. And then Lowe was beaten by Nick Ball, who will be part of the 5 versus 5 here in a couple of weeks' time here in Riyadh.
Lovely 1-2 landing from Lowe. He's got to get quicker on the feet, man. He's just following Lowe around the ring. Yes, it's pressure, but it's not enough. He's got to be quicker.
If pressure doesn't make your opponent panic or you can't hurt him, you're just wasting energy. That's the truth of it. You have to quicken your feet up. You've got to make him feel it. There's a bit of fluency in the work there of Isaac Lowe.
Tap of the gloves at the end of the round. Two hard fighting men here getting us underway on this historic night in the Kingdom Arena, topped by the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
I thought that was a good round for Isaac Lowe. Wasn't enough pressure from Ahmadi, not quick enough anyway, and he was able to find the left hooks, the jab, drop to the body every now and again, a nice right hand. Didn't really put full power in the shot, but still was a scoring shot. And yeah, he had everything his own way there, Isaac Lowe. More urgency on the feet from this man required.
That does not mean you don't focus. Careful his punches. Careful his punches.
Careful his punches and go for a kill. Understand?
He's looking smart, he's looking good. You're not getting caught. You stand there too long and get caught with one, yeah? Don't do it. Listen to me what I'm saying to you, keep it long. All right? Don't get involved at all. That's better.
Hands up.
Voice you hear in the background, John Fury, don't get involved at all, and that's been the message pretty much throughout for Isaac Lowe. But every now and again his instinct taking him into the clinches.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shot there from Ahmadi, though, lovely left hook.
Yeah, again, he's got to keep that right hand up. I mean, it was a nice, well-delivered left hook, sorry, but that right hand far too low.
There you go. Switch him right and do it again. Switch him back.
Yeah, I don't think he liked that shot of Maddie. It was a nice right to the body. Sort of stayed crouched down for a second or two.
That's the one, Isaac.
Isaac Lowe's coming off a win in the first round against the Brazilian Jonatas Rodrigo in Bolton last December, and that came about from a body shot that followed a cluster of shots.
Ahmadi, even though he's trying to push forward, he's just slowing down, isn't he, a little bit? You see him trying to push his punches out a little bit more here.
Yeah, where the feet slowed down, so have the hands now. I don't know, again, I keep going on about the uppercut, but if he was to arc that left or right to the body and then really whip the uppercut through the middle, I think that would work wonders for Lowe.
Focus, you're slow. Quick. Sharp. Sharp, sharp. Sharp, go.
Everything behind that lead hand now, I would. If I was Isaac Lowe, just jab, 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 head, body. Don't need to lead with the right hand. That's when the heads come close together. Everything behind that jab, the right hand will follow.
That's good, just change direction with his feet. Snappy left hook on the turn as well.
Good work though from Ahmadi, just holding his feet too long. Low. He just can't get close, can he? Ahmadi. Nice jab, sharp jab, good variation. That's it, just work behind the lead hand.
Well, what a night coming up here, Saturday, June the 1st, just 2 weeks away now. Matchroom and Queensbury going head-to-head in 5 versus 5 with bragging rights on the line. The historic fight night headlined by Deontay Wilder against Zhilei Zhang right here on DAZN, where you get more than 150 fight nights every year.
Clean up with your hands, all right? Give the drink. Right, come on, Isaac. Start boxing.
So Isaac Lowe then looking to assert the authority that he's built up over the course of the first 7 rounds here, scheduled to go 10. Looking to make it 4 wins in a row after being beaten twice in a row by Luis Alberto Lopez and Nick Ball a couple of years ago.
If Ahmadi just needs to roll off the punch every time, he can come back with another one, but he makes himself a little more elusive, and he can hold his ground a little bit more there. Because every time he throws a shot, he stays still, and one comes back and he has to regroup.
They give him a right telling off in that Ahmadi corner. They really want him to get close now, really want him to start working.
Just more discipline now for Isaac Lowe. It's the fight's in the bag for him here. He's just got to be disciplined, don't make mistakes. You want to close the show, we understand that, but there's a little sign there, just little risks. You might take a little shot here and there.
He's really got to work on that after this fight. He's got to get that right hand up. Taking far too many left hooks, and I've seen him a couple of times just skipping to the right. I think where he's been hit with the left hook, he's better off skipping to his left. He can throw his own left hook or right hand then.
Nice for Ahmadi, but then again, exactly the same thing. Throws nice 2 punches, holds his feet, has to take a shot back.
Doesn't need to be traded out, Ahmadi. Got to work, keep working.
That's it for Ahmadi. And again, right at the tempo there from Lowe. He felt that one.
And Ahmadi following up to the body, and Ahmadi having one of his best spells of the fight here with a minute to go in round 8.
Yeah, he's got to be tiring, he's got to be feeling the pace low, but it's the only reason why you'd hold your feet. The corner are giving clear instruction. You can hear John Fury saying, move, make this easy, don't get involved. But he's still willing to hold his feet.
Good spell here, Ahmadi. Probably his best spell, I would have thought. Oh, good shot.
Oh, tremendously timed left hook, and Ahmadi goes down. Finally, the resistance is broken with 20 seconds to go in round 8. How now will Ahmadi respond? Will Lowe find the gap once again?
Oh, good right to the
body.
body.
To the body.
Oh, big shot.
Superb attack this from Lowe. Will there be time before the bell rings at the end of the round? And what will the corner decide for Ahmadi also? Big shot, big round for Isaac Lowe.
Focus. You sure okay? Wallah. Amana. Head is okay? I said focus now. Eyes open. You okay? This is a real champion. You go down, you stand up.
Just as we were saying.
Focus.
What I was saying, is he feeling the pace? Why is he holding his feet? He just throws a lovely left hook. And that time it was Ahmadi who dropped the right hand. Was loose defensively, Barry.
And then after, when he did get up and he came at him, he landed with a lovely body shot after that, didn't he? After that knockdown. He got him with a lovely body shot, right hand over the top, and rocked Ahmadi again. And the bell maybe saving him there from a, what would have been maybe a fantastic stop there from Isaac Lowe. But that was the first real breakthrough there for Isaac Lowe, after probably having the worst little stage of the fight for him.
Well, Ahmadi slow to rise from his stool and was asking in the corner how long to go. And was told 2 more rounds. Lowe now looking for the finish.
That's better. Right, solid jab there for Lowe, just stepping into that left hand.
Now he's looking really strong. Yeah, looking good, Mike. Working the body, uppercuts as well.
Tentative now, Ahmadi, everything as well. He's starting to make mistakes here.
And backed up onto the ropes. The referee looking on here and surely asking himself the question, how much has Ahmadi got left? With still more than 2 minutes to go in the 9th round.
Just step in with that left hand now, though. Every time he throws, a real step in with it.
Ahmadi will be looking to time low on the way in. Just to see if one big swing like that can turn it his way.
Oh, good shot there from Ahmadi.
Come a little tall there, low.
Tip low and through the right hand over the top. I would say Low's been at times defensively inept, you know, been caught with too many big shots, but nothing's really troubled him.
Everything off the jab, Isaac.
He's there to be hit now. Ahmadi slowed right down. So the shots again, that right hand landing from Low, good shot.
And once again, Ahmadi making the mistake that Low himself has made throughout the contest of just dropping that right hand.
Measure him. That's it.
Measure him. To the body there, Low.
Measure him.
Lovely jab.
There you go.
Good step back as well there.
Good shot.
He's done the right thing at Ahmadi holding them, because if he could have sustained an attack there, Low, perhaps could have got the stoppage. It was a good passage, jab, step back, right hand. It was good work.
That's all you've got to do now. Measure him.
I think he's completely broke the heart of Ahmadi after that knockdown.
Down we go now. Lovely shot. That's all you've got to do.
It's not the same intent at all. Been hurt, feeling the pace.
And you know when someone's feeling the pace, because they pot shot. Like he's never the most. He didn't throw a lot of accumulation of punches anyway, but he's pot shot now.
And underlined by the shots thrown right at the end of the round by Ahmadi. A swinging right hand followed by a swinging left hook.
Okay, just timing. Yes, timing.
It's a lovely right hand there from Usyk Low. Again, maybe just covering left hook, but the better shot there was that lovely right hand right in the button. And you'll see now when we go back from this little replay, there's a swelling just appearing there on the left jaw there of Ahmadi.
Okay? You like to go for it. Like you're feeling okay? Sure? Try not to get punched.
You want to win?
You're focus. Just one more round.
You want to win?
Last round, no?
Yes.
You want to win is this round.
This round.
This round,
right?
Nothing else. Okay?
Like that?
Focus. Don't be stupid. Huh?
Last round. Come on.
Second strike, 10th, final round.
Well, it's been a brave performance by Hasibullah Ahmadi, but for much of the contest, he has been second best, in particular in the 8th round. And the message from John Fury at the end of that previous round for Isaac Low. Just keep it behind the left hand, that's all you need to do.
Up and down with a jab. That's all you've got to do, son. Take your time. Snap punches, quality shots. Quality shots, Isaac.
Nice jab.
Good timing there, wasn't it?
Yeah, just got to see this out now. Isaac Low boxed nicely. Been a really brave effort from Ahmadi. There was times there he thought he might be turning the screw here, might be getting to Isaac Low, but got back in a rhythm, jumping him with the left hook. Ahmadi still
That came off the back of a solid right hand as well, so there is still some threat.
The thing is, because he don't try to turn his hand over, he punches with the fingers when he jumps in. If he just turns his hand over a little bit, that jumping in, all that effort he makes would have a bit more of an impact. And that's why Low probably felt comfortable with his hands low.
There's the danger. Again, right hand and a left hook. Single shots, but they are landing.
Yeah, you got to stay switched on. I mean, you throw that jab, the recoil is just as important as the jab itself. You've got to get it back. You're not going to get it back. Move your feet, move your head. All that good work, that hard work you've done in from the early rounds could all be undone.
Lovely right hand from Lowe, and that forces Ahmadi on to the back foot. Not too many backward steps from him in this contest as we head into the final minute. And are these blemishes that we're talking about in the performance of Usyk Lowe what's denied him entry into the elite of the featherweight division in his career so far?
I would probably say that's a really good assessment, Mike, to be fair, because you get caught with a shot like that, some of those shot right hands was up by a Lopez or a Nick Ball, then clearly you're going to get into trouble. But when he is switched on, when he does focus, when he is concentrating, he's a very, very good fighter. Accurate, good balance, good combination, good variety, as Darren has said, in his work.
Last few seconds then as Usyk Lowe looks to close out his 4th win in a row after those 2 defeats a couple of years ago in much higher level than this. On the road and back in the winning vein for Usyk Lowe in the featherweight division.
It was a good fight, a good test and a good win for Usyk Lowe. Ahmadi come into this fight, he really believed in himself. Like we said, an unknown quantity. We didn't quite know what level he was at because of the opposition he faced.
But big fella. Go on, Tyson. Let's get this party rolling.
Usyk Lowe, he done what he had to do there. There was a couple of scary moments when he thought Ahmadi was coming in, but he dropped a man from Afghanistan. And like I say, it was a good test and a good win. He can really push on now, hopefully, from that.
Ahmadi continued to bring the fight to Usyk Lowe despite that cut appearing way back in the early stages of the contest. And then floored in the 8th round and looked at that stage as if he might be beaten inside the distance, but managed to see it through to the final bell. So we're getting closer. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk looking to make history tonight when they meet for the undisputed heavyweight championship live here on DAZN. Both men undefeated, and now the boxing world soon to find out who is the #1 in the heavyweight division. If you haven't already bought it, you can still buy it now on DAZN.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Mark Bates, scores this contest 97-92 for your winner, Usyk, the Westgate Warrior, Lowe.
So, as Usyk Lowe himself said, getting the party rolling with a win for the Tyson Fury camp. And that the 25th of his professional career. Looked as though he might record one inside the distance at one stage in the 8th round, but a game resolute performance in the end from Hasibullah Ahmadi, taking Usyk Lowe all the way to the final bell, and he can celebrate a 4th win in a row.
Well, Usyk looked to the centre of the ring from early on. He established a good jab, and it looked like he was going to be dominant that way. But every now and again, there was some lax in the defences, and that's where Ahmadi had a bit of success. The left took the right hand over the top, but every time he did, Lowe came back with some better quality work. The left hook hit the uppercut, superb for him all night, and ultimately just the experience, the class of Usyk Lowe, and the movement as well. The variety in his work, as we see here, just a little bit too much for Ahmadi. It was a good learning fight for Ahmadi, but maybe just a step too far, a little bit too soon, and Usyk Lowe, as we thought, dominant, and even in later stages, getting that lovely left hook to drop Ahmadi. Couldn't quite get the finish in the stoppage there, but still a really good dominant performance there from the man from the UK.
Good fight, good test, good win for Usyk Lowe, but he has to tidy up defensively.
So 4 in a row for Usyk Lowe from the Tyson Fury camp, and as he was saying himself, that's 1-0 as far as he's concerned. And at the top of the bill, the undisputed heavyweight championship, and Usyk Lowe goes back to the dressing room and the Fury camp as a winner right at the start of the card.
Yeah, good first fight to kick things off here, Chris. Maybe a few didn't expect it to go that far, but it was competitive, and that's what we want to see here.
Competitive fight, good win for Isaac Lowe. I agree with the guys. Got to shore up that defense a little bit as he tries to get back to that championship level. I also think when you're fighting at a championship level, you've got to have something of a killer instinct. And we saw at the end of the 8th round, his opponent was badly hurt, wobbling back to the corner. Probably should have stopped it after that round. At a championship level, if you've got an opponent that hurt, you've got to go out there and try to finish him off. So that's kind of a lesson learned, I think, for Isaac Lowe.
How many more for Isaac Lowe before he does get to that level? Again, we've seen him in against Nick Ball. We saw him in against Luis Alberto Lopez, two very, very good featherweights. What do we need to see? How many more before he gets to that level again?
I think at least one more, because you kind of want to bridge the gap a little bit between Akhmadi and someone the level of Luis Lopez or Nick Ball. But I was impressed with his offensive output. I was impressed with his accuracy on some of those shots. Just has to get a little bit better defensively. And again, don't waste time. You don't get paid for overtime in boxing. You see a guy hurt, you get him out of there as quickly as you can.
Yeah, that kicks things off. Remember, the main event is a special one. Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight title fight. And there is so much more to come on DAZN in the next couple of weeks as well. Let's not forget, these two guys do not like each other, and they're going to settle a beef that's been going nearly 2 years. That's Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall. And then it's Eddie versus Frank. Some might say they don't like each other as well. It is 5 versus 5. Queensbury versus Matchroom. Incredible run for DAZN in the next couple of weeks. It's been very interesting sitting down with Tyson Fury all week. Some might say his mood has been up and down, but look, one thing we know is that the Gypsy King always delivers. He wants to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and earlier this week I called up with the current WBC heavyweight champion.
Good, bad, like me, hate me, whatever you want to do, yeah, it's very unimportant to me. I'm here to get paid and get out of here.
I'm on top of the world, baby!
And I don't want a fluky win or a dodgy win or he tripped over a rock in the floor. I want the people to see what's going to happen to him. That's what I want.
I'm destined to become the undisputed champion, and more than that, I'm destined to cement my legacy as the #1 fighter of this era.
I think this win puts me at #1. Beating Usyk now puts me #1 status of all time.
Usyk! Usyk! Usyk!
I don't want nothing to spoil it, like an injury or a shoulder injury or something stupid. I want a victory properly. Goes down and I could hit him and I'll say, no, get back up, come on. Play. Only person standing in front of him now is me. Then he will have battered his way through Great Britain. And we can't be having that.
I think Tyson Fury in good spirits all week, and you're going to be, right? I mean, he knows what's up for grabs here. He's going to be nervous, Chris, but he's going to be excited. Remember, this is the free portion of our event. Scan the QR code. You don't want to miss it. We kick off things in about an hour. You don't want to miss it. Really good fight to kick things off as well. David Niika versus Michael Seitz. What'd you make of Tyson Fury all week?
Well, I think there's definitely some anxiousness within Tyson Fury. Why wouldn't there be? The chance to be the first 4-belt undisputed champion, the first undisputed champion at heavyweight of this century. I also have sensed a little bit of frustration on the part of Tyson Fury, because usually Tyson's antics get under the skin of his opponents. They haven't really done that with Oleksandr Usyk, who is effectively unflappable when it comes to how he behaves and how he operates outside the ring. You saw after the press conference, Tyson Fury didn't even look at Oleksandr Usyk. Then he shoves him at the weigh. And he has tried a lot of different things to try to win the game of mental warfare. Right now, at best, I'd call it kind of a stalemate.
Interesting observation, Chris Mannix. The last undisputed heavyweight champion was a certain Mr. Lennox Lewis, who's part of our team this season, as is Kate Abdo, and they're backstage. Kate Abdo called up with Lennox Lewis.
Yes, thank you guys. So the last undisputed king of the heavyweight division is in the building. We're here. It's a huge night ahead. What are you most looking forward to?
Just the fight. I think it's going to be intense. Everybody's eyes are going to be glued on the first few rounds, and it's just going to be excitement after that.
Do we get a good fight, though, Lennox?
Great fight. You're going to get a great fight. You got two undefeated guys that don't know nothing about losing, but there has to be a winner in this fight, so it's going to be like a tug of war.
And you ready to hand over the crown? Not really.
Not really. I've got to, you know, well,
it's been 25 years.
It has been 25 years, and I'm very happy to hand over the crown to the new champion.
Kinda.
Yes.
All right, back to you guys. We'll see you later.
He certainly wasn't happy to hand over the crown. Our next fight, Daniel Lapin there, a lot of people excited about him. Unbeaten Ukrainian in the light heavyweight division. He takes on Octavio Pudavita from Portugal. So we're ready for our final fight on the prelim. So that once again, let's hand it down to your commentary team of Mike Costello, Barry Jones and Darren Barker. But first, it's your MC, Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
Let's first welcome to the ring, coming to us from Portugal, Octavio Tank Pudavita.
Well, a very nervous looking Octavio Pudavita, making his walk towards the ramp here in the Kingdom Arena. An occasion way beyond anything he's experienced in his career so far. Nothing like the crowd numbers and attention that will be present here later in the evening, but this is still a massive occasion in the career of Pudavita, who's been a pro for just 5 years, is now 36, turned pro late. No doubts among you watching on and getting involved with the fan zone. 4 out of 5 of you believing that Pudavita here is destined to leave the ring as a loser tonight.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Ukraine, the undefeated Daniel Lapin.
Daniel Lapin decides it's time to make the walk to the ring. With his image appearing on the huge screens high above us here at ringside against the backdrop of the colours of the Ukrainian flag, the blue and the yellow, the blue for the sky, the yellow for the grain down beneath. And will this be a night when Daniel Lapin grows his career? 9 fights old at the moment. And we saw earlier a representative from the Tyson Fury camp in Isaac Lowe. And here, Oleksandr Usyk and his camp represented by this tall southpaw in the light heavyweight division, Daniel Lapin. At the age of 26, and after 4 years as a pro, now looking to kick on in his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it'll be for the vacant WBA Continental Light Heavyweight Championship. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions and Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated. In conjunction with Riyadh Season, National Event Center, the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Gold Star Promotions, K2 Promotions, and Sella. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Robin Smith, along with the World Boxing Association. President Gilberto Mendoza Jr., Supervisor Carlos Chavez. Our timekeeper is David Walters. Our 3 judges assigned, scoring on a 10-point must system will be Luigi Boscarelli of Italy, Howard Foster of England, and Salvador Salva of Spain. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be Bob Williams of England. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 173.7 pounds. Coming to us from Porto, Portugal, he brings a professional record consisting of 9 wins, just 1 defeat, with 4 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Octavio Tank Pudiviter. And his opponent across the ring in this championship contest, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white, blue, and yellow, and weighed in officially at 174.7 pounds. A native of Poland, now fighting out of Kyiv, Ukraine. He is undefeated with 9 wins, 3 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Daniel Lepin.
Okay, lads, obey my commands. In the event of a knockdown, the fighter standing will go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there. Protect yourself at all times, touch gloves.
Straight away, seeing the colossal difference in height there between Lapin and Pudiviter. 10 rounds this then in the light heavyweight division. So that's the last of the fights then before we get underway on the main pay-per-view broadcast and the heavyweight championship of the world, the undisputed title to be won tonight by Tyson Fury or by Oleksandr Usyk. And here a representative of the Usyk camp in Daniel Lapin, the southpaw, 6'6" tall, against Octavio Pudiviter, who's already switched himself to the southpaw stance inside the first half a minute.
Could be a very, very frustrating night this for Pudiviter. Lapin, his feet are razor sharp. I mean, he has the frame, the build of a high jumper, and you can see how quickly he is on his feet. Always taking the range away from his opponents. Pudiviter, he likes to get close, likes to rough up his opponents to get successful, to get purchase on the shots, but can he get close to Lapin? I'm not sure this evening. We did see a little spell from Lapin, who is a very tidy boxer, but at the media workout, he let about 20 shots go with real spite. I want to see a little bit more of that from Lapin.
See, when you got the range of Lapin, when you got the body structure he has, you just got to swing into the shots. You got to move that body from the hips and the shoulders. You get that whip the punch because you get the acceleration of the shot, and that will do the damage. And every and again, just push off that back foot with the right hand, push right through the tiger with it.
Oh, he felt that one.
And backs off into his own corner and takes a knee as Lapin starts to open up in the style that he did at the workout. And Octavia Pudaviti is looking like he doesn't want to continue here. And referee Bob Williams completes the count in the early stages of the opening round. And the celebrations begin for Daniel Lapin.
Well, I said you got to step behind, you got to step in with that right hand. He threw that jab, didn't he? He stepped in, but it didn't seem like there was lots on it, did it?
No, not at all.
It just caught him funny on the nose, maybe, or...
Well, I said I see some spite, I see some horrible, nasty shots thrown at the media workout. I wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly. Pudaviti, he's only had the one defeat. He's never been stopped. He's tough, he's game from what I've seen, but Lapin, I mean, this could be a new improved from
but you know what?
Lapin. I mean, that was impressive. I know the shot didn't look heavy, but that was impressive.
But like I said at the beginning, you don't need to. All you got to do is get that body mechanics with when you're a tall, long fighter, and twist from the hips and the waist, because all the power's on the end of the shot. You get the acceleration in the punch. You don't have to push too hard for it and use all the like the muscular fighters have to. It has to be smooth rhythm, but as long as you get them at the end of the shot, and that's clearly what it must have been.
I don't think Lapin was expecting it to finish so early either. Big smile.
Listen, let's be honest, Mike, we were all sat on you expecting like a 10-round technical masterclass, really. That's what we thought.
And whatever happened to Pudaviti, he's still on his stool from that single shot.
Yeah, so he was just in a nice, smooth rhythm early on. And yeah, look, maybe it's just caught the eye. I think it's exactly what happened. The punch just grazed. That was a little naughty as Pudaviti was on one knee.
See, I thought it was the jab, but it's not. It's this hand here. It cuts across the face, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the right-hand jab that he stepped into, and I thought, oh, that's good. But it's actually that left hand sort of comes across the face, and maybe... Well, I can't see what it does, though. It's the weirdest of things.
It's almost as if it knocked Pudaviti's own glove into his eye.
Yeah, it did. That was a little naughty.
Get a better view here.
Yeah, it just grazes the eye, Mike.
Yeah, straight away there. The gloves are around his face, and he's clearly uncomfortable.
Real inexperience there. He should have taken the knee straight away. Yeah, surprised.
Nightmare for Pudaviti there, not to get there, even just show what he could do for us. Even if he was a favourite to come second in the contest, but no one wants to go that early without having to really throw a punch. And for Lapin, that's well, this I would say a career best win, isn't it? That early of a finish there, but it'll grow with confidence of his power. Maybe he'll start stepping behind some more punches, and we'll see a more exciting version of the Ukraine.
Well, this is what we're heading to tonight, live on DAZN Worldwide. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk looking to make history when they meet for the undisputed heavyweight championship live here on DAZN, both undefeated. And tonight we find out who is undisputed. Live on DAZN Worldwide. If you haven't bought it, make sure you buy it now. The main card starting very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 47 seconds of round number 1. Our referee in charge, Bob Williams, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout, still undefeated, and now the WBA Continental Light Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Lapin.
Well, Daniel Lapin was the overwhelming favourite to win that one, but not too many predicted that he'd do it in the opening round, but he has done. It's win number 10, 4 of them now inside the distance. So here we are then in the Kingdom Arena, the first 2 fights. A representative of each of the camps, Isaac Lowe from the Tyson Fury camp beating Hasibullah Ahmadi on points over 10 rounds. And there Daniel Lapin getting the job done in the opening round against Octavia Pudaviti for the vacant WBA Continental Light Heavyweight title.
So many good prospects on this card tonight. Daniel Lapin certainly one of those. We've watched what happened, the knockdown, the stoppage, whatever. We still can't quite work out what went wrong there.
Yeah, in real time, it looked like a broken nose because the way that he pawed at his face there, you thought, all right, maybe there was a busted nose, but when you saw the replay, it clearly caught him on the side of the face. And one of the more common injuries, facial injuries in boxing, is a broken orbital bone. And that reaction that we saw, it looked like something that we've seen from fighters that have had broken orbital bones in the past. Hopefully not, because that's a tough injury to bounce back from, but that was my first instinct when I saw the replay.
Yeah, again, look, Daniel Lapin, highly thought of, obviously part of that Oleksandr Usyk camp. Light heavyweight division we know is a busy one, it's a stacked one. Do they fast track him? What do they do with Daniel Lapin now?
No, I think you take it easy with Daniel Lapin. 4 years of pro, only 10 professional fights. Look, these regional belts that you see out there are kind of goofy, but they do serve a purpose, right? Like, they allow you to advance in the rankings in a organic, kind of natural way. And I think that's what Daniel Lapin has to do. I mean, he is a physical specimen, 6'6" at light heavyweight. He is going to have some real tools when he starts to face some of the better fight names in the 175-pound division. But we didn't really learn anything in a fight like this. How do you learn anything when a fight goes only a round and a half long? But certainly, you like to see the physical tools from a fighter like that.
Yeah, look forward to seeing him in many, many other fight cards throughout the year. Sticking with light heavyweights, the former light heavyweight king is a guy called Sergey Kovalev, the Crusher, who now campaigns at cruiserweight. He's on our main card against Robin Safar. I spoke about prospects. Robin Safar is certainly that. Let's hear from the man they call the Crusher. He's backstage of Ali Drew.
Sergey, how does it feel to be back on fight night? Is it a familiar feeling for you?
Yes, it's already not first time in my life. I'm happy back to boxing, but little nervous because like long time didn't fight and everything is good. Like just have fun.
Does it feel different now being back tonight?
Different of what?
Any different feelings because you've been out for so long, or does it just feel familiar, like you've never been away?
No, just a different country, different public, you know, just, man, I'm very excited and very happy back to boxing, like, just miss to fight.
What can the fans look forward to seeing from you being back in the ring tonight?
Ring will show, you know, I don't want to, like, order something, you know, just I want to have a fun and do my best job what I can to do.
Do you have a prediction for how it ends, or are you going to keep that close to your chest?
Yeah, it's just I want to like keep and to make some surprise, you know.
Okay. And do you have a prediction for the main event tonight? Will you be watching that after your fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch, of course, main events and co-main events. Many predictions. It's very difficult, you know, to really the good guys. I mean, like. Not standard, like one very good technique has and smart Usyk, I mean, and another Fury, another guy who has like a crazy anthropometry, you know, very high, like it's will be not comfortable for Usyk, you know, but it's makes it more interesting to watch this fight. I think so. Like any of them, like has a good chance to get victory, you know. But I hope so that Usyk more like I don't know how to say on English, more like hitry. I don't know how in English. He's more smarter, yeah, like, okay. Yeah, more smart. Yeah, boxing IQ, yeah. Like, I hope so. We will see a very historic fight.
It certainly is. Well, it's great to have you back, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you so much for everything, and I'm back. I try to show all my best. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see what's left with Sergey Kovalev, 41 now, obviously campaigning as a cruiserweight. This will be his second fight in the higher weight division. And Chris, 15 years ago, you can even go back 10 years ago, there were two boogeymen of boxing, Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah.
And I feel like the youngsters watching at home need to be reminded of that because this guy was very, very special a few years back.
10 years ago, Sergey Kovalev was the best thing going in the light heavyweight division, dominating all the top contenders at 175. He ran into Andre Ward, who's an all-time great at super middleweight, at light heavyweight, and lost 2 of those fights. Then he faced Canelo Alvarez, and we know what happened there. Canelo knocked him out. Kind of disappeared, though, into the wilderness after that. Had some issues with drug testing. Had 1 fight at cruiserweight against Turvel Pulev. And I'll tell you, I watched that fight. Wasn't all that impressed with Sergey Kovalev, but this is a massive opportunity for him here. Look, I ran into his promoter, Kathy Duva, in the hotel this week, and Kathy said to me, look, if Sergey wins this fight, we want Zurdo Ramirez next. Okay. They want a shot at the WBA cruiserweight champion, Zurdo Ramirez. And I'll tell you what, Kovalev is enough of a name in the U.S. that if he wins this fight and looks impressive, it's not unrealistic to see him get a shot against Ramirez either later this year or early next year.
Yeah, we'll see what the Crusher certainly has left. It won't be easy, though. He takes on a very highly touted prospect in Robin Safar. That is part of our main card. Make sure you see the QR code. Make sure you scan it, because you don't want to miss that fight as well. All right, we already spoke about Tyson Fury. Let's speak about his opponent, Oleksandr Usyk. Incredible amateur record, European gold, World Championship gold, and Olympic gold medalist back in 2012. And as a pro, perfect. Undisputed at cruiserweight, unified at heavyweight. You want to know a bit more about the Ukrainian God? This will help.
Oleksandr Usyk makes some noise!
That's just sublime stuff there from Usyk. Oh, the shot, Usyk just leans into that left hook! You're just a master technician here, aren't you? Booming hooks from Oleksandr Usyk. The foot movement to get him into position. That's the biggest of the lot for Oleksandr Usyk.
Amateur pedigree is huge. When you're going to talking of the likes of Oleksandr Usyk, it's massive. This guy's had, what, 250, 300 fights, and you have to understand that 210 of them are elite level fights against the best that every other country's got.
I remember a lot of my amateur fight. Olympic Games, World Champion, European Champion, local Ukrainian competition. It's a big experience. When I was first Olympic Games, it's Beijing. I lost second fight, Italian guy, Clemente Russo. Second Olympic Games, I changed my life. It's training, family, training, rest, family. Next Olympic Games, I win. I say, yes, it's great rematch. I remember when my father called me, say, congratulations, son, I love you. I say, yes. It's big motivation for me when my father tells me, I love you. It was hard because it's men who tell me, son, you can. It's hard. Now too hard. I remember my father. I pray every day for God. I say, please help my father. He every time close.
The experience he has as an amateur stands him in great stead. So when he wins the world title in his 10th fight, it didn't surprise me at all. Krzysztof Glowacki is the perfect opponent for someone like Oleksandr Usyk. He's a pressure fighter, he comes forward, he walks into everything you've got. Oleksandr was always going to beat him and looked really good beating him as well. It was only a matter of time, in my opinion, until he unified all the belts.
He gets all 4 belts in the cruiserweight division, and what does he do? He goes over to the UK and challenges Tony Bellew in his backyard.
Do I think I could beat him? Absolutely. But thinking you're going to knock someone out and actually doing it are 2 different things.
I thought Tony Bellew boxed very well, but he was working very hard to win those early rounds.
Yeah, I got tired, and I got tired because he made me tired. So I give him all the credit in the world. Oleksandr Usyk, mate, is the best fight I ever faced.
The move to heavyweight is something that's not easy. Very few cruiserweights have gone on to win world championships or dominate the heavyweight division. Oleksandr has a big size disadvantage, and he has to use his incredible skill and IQ to supplement that.
As soon as he goes to the heavyweight division, he basically picks fighters who are going to put it on him and where he can soak stuff up and let it sit on the ropes.
The game plan for Derek Chisora going into the fight was to do exactly what he did, was to press the action. It was about Derek Chisora sort of crossed up and getting into range and roughing up Usyk, and he's probably done the best of any heavyweight who's fought Usyk so far, including Anthony Joshua in those 24 rounds that he's fought with him.
I was lucky enough to commentate that night, and I was just in awe of the ring craft of the man. The footwork was exceptional. The way he skipped side to side, he was creating angles. Someone as well schooled as Anthony Joshua, an Olympic gold medalist, had no answers.
I thought Anthony Joshua would have been just too big, too strong, would have walked him down. But somehow Usyk was able to present a boxing match to Anthony Joshua that he was able to control.
AJ was absolutely exhausted at the end of that first fight, and I mean so tired he could barely walk.
And new heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
That was the fight where I thought, I don't know if I'm going to see Usyk get beat.
I must give AJ all the credit in the world. He was really good in the rematch. But once again, it's the pressure that Oleksandr Usyk puts on you.
Usyk comes alive. Look at the way he's changing level here, Usyk. This Ukrainian master, this sublime technician.
I thought Joshua would rally and win the second fight. He didn't. Every time I think somebody's going to get the best of Oleksandr Usyk, they don't. And not only do they not beat him, Usyk wins these fights clean.
Certainly there are those who felt that Usyk should have made a better job of his performance against Daniel Dubois.
Dubois hit the protector. Now, some referees will say that's good on the protector, but the general basis is the protector is out of bounds.
Did he milk it? Yes, he was hurt. I've absolutely no doubt about it, he was hurt. But it is a low blow. Letter of the law, it's below the belt line. That is a low blow.
That's obviously going to be a big part of Tyson Fury's game plan, attack Usyk's body. But ultimately, as a professional, no one's put him down with a body shot.
Usyk can pose with those belts and wonder what's next for him. Challenge potentially of Tyson Fury. Would that be too much for him? Would anything be too much for Oleksandr Usyk?
A potential victory to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world would do wonders for the country and for the future of Ukrainian boxing.
You watch that, Chris, and you just realise just how special he is. Todd Grisham is with us as well, lead commentator this evening. Todd, looking sharp as well, looking suave.
Thank you. I'm getting, this may sound weird, I'm getting WrestleMania vibes here tonight. It feels that big. No, it feels like WrestleMania Saudi style.
Well, you know it better than anyone, right? Having done a few WrestleManias. Chris, when you look at that piece there, I mean, Oleksandr Usyk, we know the journey, we know the story, but seeing him get emotional talking about his dad and his dad's reaction to him coming Olympic champion is incredible.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of emotion. You don't see a lot of feeling out of Oleksandr Usyk during any of these fight weeks, during any of your conversations with him. But obviously the bond he has with his father is real. He's someone that's inspired him throughout the course of his life. It's something that motivates him, even now, going into a fight like this.
When did he come to your attention, Todd, in terms of coming to the attention? You know, hardcore boxing fans have always kind of thought of him as being someone that could go all the way, but when did he really kind of sort of just touch the surface as this guy could maybe cross over both?
Well, you know, the cruiserweight division is kind of the forgotten division. You know, you become a champion there, it's kind of awesome, but you're not a heavyweight. Evander Holyfield, obviously the best exception going up and becoming a heavyweight champion. When Usyk fought Joshua in Tottenham Stadium, I was fortunate enough to call that fight. Usyk was a big underdog. Many people thought Joshua was just going to roll over him, but Usyk just turned the tables on him, outclassed him, looked miles better. AJ did better in the rematch, still lost. But I think that was the night that people said, wait a minute, this guy can really be something here in the heavyweight division. Obviously became the champion that night as well, but then you're thinking, wow, can he become undisputed? And tonight he gets his chance.
I think for me, it was the World Boxing Super Series, you know, in the cruiserweight division. I thought the cruiserweight division was the perfect division to choose for the World Boxing Super Series because you could get all those guys together because cruiserweight is not a glamour division in the sport of boxing. But even though there weren't a lot of big names, there were a lot of big-time talents in that division. So Usyk had to go through a lot of them one by one, had to win some competitive fights. Fought Marius Briedis. Marius Briedis might have given him the most competitive fight during his time at cruiserweight, during any of his fights in his professional career. So it was right then when I saw Usyk go through one top fighter after another at cruiserweight, I thought that guy, he might be pretty special.
And let's not forget, Usyk's country's in a war right now. Obviously, Lomachenko joined forces. I mean, Usyk fought with himself, should I even be fighting? You know, he went into the country to save his family. He had that on the back of his mind the whole time, so he was almost fighting two battles at once, so to speak. For him to put that on the back burner and put it behind him and still have the success that he's had is incredible.
The World Boxing Super Series, just to touch on it, Chris, was more of a European tournament, right? All the fighters in there were European. When did he come to the attention of the American public? Was it the Michael Hunter fight? Was it, as Todd put out there, the Joshua fight? When did American fight fans start to recognize him?
Don't forget his trip to Chicago to fight Chaz Witherspoon.
How could I forget that? Oh, man.
Here on DAZN. Big night for Oleksandr Usyk. Look, I think it was most likely the Joshua fight. The Chisora fight was certainly interesting. Chisora, pretty big name over in the UK. But when you take on Anthony Joshua with just 3 fights at cruiserweight, you do to him what Usyk did that night. That makes everybody stand up and take notice. And frankly, we should not be surprised. I mean, this was a guy, again, a gold medalist at the Olympics. Before then, a gold medalist at the World Championships. Before then, a gold medalist at the European Championships. He was probably winning gold when he was in the womb. I mean, this guy is as good as they get when it comes to boxing talent. All he does is win. And it should be no surprise that he's won at this level.
You know, I got a chance to speak with him at another event yesterday, and it was interesting. His father was, you know, his biggest motivating factor. But he said his mother told him he couldn't do it and that he shouldn't do it. He should get a real job, should not be a fighter. So it was like he was his father's son and told his mom, I'm still going to do this. So, you know, it wasn't like the whole family was like, rah, 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 you can do this. He kind of had to navigate his way as he grew up to become a star.
And he certainly navigated his way. Mike Costello, you would have watched him, especially as an amateur, quite a lot, and as a pro. What do you guys make of him ringside?
Well, picking up on what Todd was saying, what you have to understand about Oleksandr Usyk is how much of it has been done on the road. He won the title against a Pole in Poland. He beat Michael Hunter, an American, in the United States. He beat Marco Huck, a German, in Germany. He beat Marius Briedis, we're going to see him here tonight, a Latvian in Latvia. And then he won the World Boxing Super Series against a Russian in Russia. And then he came to Britain when we saw him beat Tony Bellew, a Brit. And he's continued to do that into the heavyweight division. That log, that catalogue, would be impressive on any record. But to have done it on the road is extra special.
It is. And Darren, to you as well on this, again, you would have watched him, good amateur yourself, Darren. How impressive has he been when you watch what he's done so far in his career?
I mean, he's a master. He's an absolute genius when it comes to boxing. He is, yeah, he's a master. I've always said this, and I've said it a lot this week. Someone who makes their profession look easy is very, very good at what they do. And he does that, you know, the way he skips side to side. I mean, he hasn't quite mastered it, but he's as close as you're going to get to it. I mean, it's a tough task here with the size that he's going to have to navigate through of Tyson Fury. But if anyone can do it, it's Oleksandr Usyk.
It certainly is. Look, we were all in New York with each other. We sat a round table. We kind of discussed how this fight may play out. Here's a little snippet of the round table I did with a few special guests in New York.
I feel like Tyson Fury has to answer a lot of questions.
You don't try to box guys like that, you fight them.
I think the way to fight Usyk is a way that I'm not sure Tyson Fury can fight.
Does the cat get exhausted from chasing the mouse, or does the mouse get exhausted from running away from the cat?
It was off, then on, then off, then on, but it is definitely on May 18th, live on DAZN, and I'm talking about the undisputed heavyweight showdown between the WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and the unified heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. Guys, this is it. This is the big one, right? Everyone talks about it. If the heavyweight division is good, boxing is good. And the heavyweight division is starting to get really, really good. Chris, I want to come to you on this one. Fury Usyk, this is 100% number one versus number two. Out of interest, who's number one and who's number two for you?
It's tough. I would probably put Fury at number one because he's been a heavyweight longer. I don't put too much stock in the lineal championship. You know, some people do. I know Usyk's got 3 versions of the title, but he did that by beating one guy. Usyk's only been a heavyweight for, what, 3 or 4 years now, where Fury is a career-long heavyweight who I think has a comparable or better resume at heavyweight than Oleksandr Usyk is. But, look, 1 and 1A at the very worst.
Yeah. Postponements always happen in fights, Sean, cuts, whatever. Derailment because of uncertain in Francis Ngannou. I point to the MMA man here. That kind of caused a bit of a problem. Who does this benefit the most, this stop, start?
You know, in this one,
or who does it hinder the most?
I'm going to go on a limb and say it didn't hinder either guy.
That's called sitting on the fence, actually. It's
well, no, it's not. Let me explain.
For the record. Yes.
Let me explain. Because I'm on record for saying that I didn't think the fight was going to ever happen.
Oh.
And when there was a cut that came out, I said, well, listen, I didn't think the fight was going to happen. This was before I even knew that it was a cut. I just heard that the fight was postponed. Makes sense to me because I didn't think the fight was going to happen. I felt like Tyson Fury was getting into other things. He's getting into the whole entertainment world. He's not interested in fighting anymore. He's had some of the toughest fights he could ever have in his career. You know, Klitschko, the list goes on, 3 with Wilder. I didn't think he wanted a night with Usyk. That is a night with a guy that's all over the ring. It's southpaw. Yeah. And it's just, I said it's too much. Tyson Fury don't want it. But when the fight got postponed and rescheduled, I said, wow, Tyson Fury's connected mentally. He's ready for that night. And I think that he's going to go get it. Here's the thing with Usyk. Usyk ain't going to stop anything. He already said it. Hey, if he pulls out on the next one, we're just going to replace him. So Usyk is the kind of fighter that trains in season and out of season. Fight, no fight, I'm training, I'm staying ready. So it's not out of the norm for him to train and something get postponed. So what? I just keep doing what I do. So I think mentally, it didn't disturb Usyk because that's how he operates. Mentally, it didn't disturb Tyson Fury. If anything, it clicked to him and got him going, you know? Hearing everybody like myself saying, oh, he doesn't want it, it got him to click in. So I think it was, if anything, it's become an advantage for both guys.
Sergio, I know you're a Tyson Fury fan. Apart from the size difference, it's probably going to be around 3 stone come fight night between the two. What does Tyson Fury do better than Oleksandr Usyk in the ring?
He fights like a bigger man more. He grapples and uses dirty tactics a lot more.
The dark arts, the elbows, and everything.
Everything, and he knows how to put his weight and his size and his mass over opponents. I think that's going to be key with a fighter like Usyk, who you can't pin down. When you do grapple, that's what Fury does well. He fights like a big man. That's what Joshua couldn't do against Fury. He couldn't actually against Usyk. He couldn't grapple him. He couldn't fight like a big man. The first fight, Joshua tried to outbox a sniper boxer. You're not going to outbox Usyk. His footwork is too brilliant. I mean, he's a southpaw. He has an Olympic pedigree. He's an amazing lethal sniper. So you don't try to box guys like that. You fight them. You fight boxers. And I think Fury has a little bit of boxer and a lot of fighter in him. The thing that, to Sean's point, the thing that does worry me is the inactivity. The inactivity and the fact that, you know, this fight got postponed, canceled, whatever you want to call it. It's happening.
I'm going to throw something at you real quick. I want to hear what you got to say. This is clearly cat and mouse. Does the cat get exhausted from chasing the mouse, or does the mouse get exhausted from running away from the cat? I fought, and a lot of guys tried to grab and hold me, and I was always tussling with those guys, trying to get them off, and it wore me out. I get with Freddie Roach, and he shows me how to get out of these holds. Now all of a sudden I'm fighting, and it's like, I'm out, no problem. I'm out, no problem. Guess what? The guy that was trying to grab me, they're trying to clinch and hold and get to me, they were tensing up, and that was wearing them out just as much as I was with what I did, my movement and things like that. So do you think that will play a factor where someone like Tyson Fury grabbing and putting weight on guys who aren't fast and quick and know how to move like Usyk. Is that going to wear
That's
him
an
down?
excellent analogy, and I love the fact that you're bringing experience to the table where you're dealing with a 6'9", a 6'9" cat in Tyson Fury. You can't prepare for that. You tell me that Usyk's going to fight 6'9" sparring partners. They're going to outweigh him by 60 to 80 pounds. That fight like light heavyweights. I mean, this is a big, huge, giant titan of a man that fights like a light heavyweight. He has the jab. He knows how to grapple you. He knows how to push you off. He knows how to box on the outside with that jab. He can stick to the game plan all the way to the end. Yeah. Fury can make it dirty. He can make it clean. He can find a way to win. And with a fighter like Usyk that's so brilliant in what he does, we haven't seen him get really dirty because he's always in control. He's always that mouse that you're talking about. He knows how to fight the right way. But I think he's going to have to fight off the cat and find a way to be a little bit more dirty. Usyk is and physical.
I wonder if you guys agree with this. I think there's a tremendous amount of pressure on Tyson Fury's shoulders, way more than Oleksandr Usyk for several reasons. His last couple of fights weren't against the best. They weren't the fights that people wanted to see him against. Then he fights Francis and does not look good. And now I feel like this is like almost an indictment, a referendum on his career and legacy, because then he gets hurt, then he gets cut, right? And people, to your point, maybe thought he was never really serious about taking this fight. And now all of a sudden you have Usyk, who's just storming through the heavyweights, blows right through, you know, Joshua and everything like that, and he's the young bull, so to speak, that everyone thinks is going to that is just going to like dethrone him. And I feel like Tyson Fury has to answer a lot of questions. Like, there aren't as many questions on Usyk's shoulders going into this fight, but given how he looked and how he fought and how he performed against Francis, if he slips on a banana peel here, if he doesn't look good, I feel like everyone's going to rewrite. I don't think it's fair, but just rewrite the whole story of his reign and career.
They've started doing it already. When Wilder lost to Parker, everyone all of a sudden said, well, Wilder's trash. You lost to that guy. You know, you beat that guy and you get no credit for it.
It's not fair, but it happens all the time, and I feel like there's a lot more of that on his shoulders as opposed to Usyk's going into this fight.
I agree. I think Tyson Fury's has had a lot of fights that have been canceled, injuries, and something will always come up when
fights we didn't want to see as well.
Chisora, it's almost like this has been the narrative. This has been the narrative, and it's like now you got to kind of like carry this through. You got to come out on the top of this other side of this, because if you don't, now everybody says, well, this has always been your pattern, and your pattern finally caught up with you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is a big one for him. I think there's a lot of pressure on Tyson Fury.
I think one thing to note too is when Tyson Fury started fighting in the U.S. and he started meeting with people at Top Rank, one thing he would tell them, what I was told, was don't bring me smaller guys. Like, he didn't want to fight smaller fighters. He likes to fight guys at close to his eye level. I know he's listed as 6'9". He's not. He's probably about 6'6". So that's why a fight with Wilder. You think he's 6'9"?
He does about the height.
You think he's 6'9"?
No, he's not 6'9".
And you're not 6'3", but
I'm not going to go there with you. I'm not going to do that right now. He doesn't like fighting smaller guys, right? He likes fighting guys at his eye level. His best wins have come against those types of guys. Vladimir Klitschko many years ago, and the 2 wins over Deontay Wilder. Smaller guys just give him a little bit more problems, got to punch down a little bit. I think the way to fight Usyk is a way that I'm not sure Tyson Fury can fight. I mean, one of the guys that had the most success against Usyk, remarkably, was Derek Chisora. Like, in the first half of that fight against Usyk, Derek Chisora applied a lot of pressure. Ran out of gas, but applied a lot of pressure, and I thought gave Usyk a lot of problems in the first half of that fight. Tyson Fury, I think, has got to go out and try to apply pressure to Usyk, because he can't let Usyk just work his way onto the inside, throw all those body shots. Look, Usyk is going to have an impeccable game plan. Whether he executes it or not, I don't know. But he's going to have a great game plan that's going to involve getting on the inside. And Usyk is familiar and successful at fighting taller guys, most recently against Anthony Joshua. So I think this is a really challenging fight for Tyson Fury.
You know, one of the biggest components to boxing is doesn't even happen in the ring, but it's timing. Timing's everything. It was always said that Mayweather shouldn't get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's a southpaw. Manny Pacquiao's a mover. 100 punches around. That's too much, and that's not what you want to fight against. But the timing, he finally found that right moment, i.e. Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. Years have gone by. People have wanted this fight. Don't bring me smaller guys. He may very well be ready for the smaller guy now. It's only a matter of time before we find out.
If Tyson Fury didn't have that brilliant jab that he has, that he flicks it out. He knows how to put the power behind it in the end, but he also knows how to flick it out just to time you. and going back to what Sean does, that actually stops the movement, and that could set up the right hand. If he didn't have that jab, then that's Usyk all the way. But because he's so big, he knows how to fight small, Tyson Fury. He knows how to fight on the inside and grapple and make it rough and dirty in there, but he also be on the outside picking and pecking at you. If he can do that and be disciplined enough to do that into the later rounds and get Usyk to get overly aggressive, then he can run him into something big and get Usyk to fight out of character, which we haven't seen. But if you're going to be punching up at a 6'9", whether you agree or not, target, you're going to have to get aggressive. Usyk's going to have to take chances.
But when was the last time that Fury fought someone with the skill level of Usyk? I'm not disparaging Wilder, who is a former Olympian. He has not fought anyone with this
even
type
close,
of
even
close.
Yeah.
And Usyk, a former gold medalist, undisputed champion at cruiserweight, stormed through the heavyweight division thus far. This is going to be, I don't want to call it a unique challenge, but one that I don't think Tyson's faced too many of in the
And by the way, Usyk's now a heavyweight. I mean, against Chisora, he was trying to sort of get that weight, and it was an unnatural weight. You look at him now,
that's the big challenge.
He's now a heavyweight.
Because remember what Bomac said once about Terrence Crawford? Like, people better get him early when he comes to 147. And you experienced Terrence as a full 147. Yeah. Like, you better get him early, because once he grows into that weight, he's going to be a lot better. I think that Usyk, now as a full-fledged heavyweight, is a lot better than what he was.
Usyk's incredible, isn't he? I mean, to Chris's point there, the amateur record's ridiculous. It's an insane record. But even as a cruiserweight, he's gone to everyone's backyard, their backyard, and beat all the top cruiserweights. And by the way, some big names in that World Boxing Super Series. Now he comes to heavyweight, beats my guy AJ twice, which was painful to watch from ringside. And now he's bidding to become undisputed at heavyweight. If he were to become undisputed at heavyweight, again, add in the undisputed cruiserweight title, what he done as an amateur. I mean, we might have to look at the record books and see where we place Oleksandr Usyk.
Yeah, and people have been slow to give him those props, but I think now it's finally coming. I think he goes down as one of the greatest ever. If he does this, and then the rematch as well, and he wins that fight, I mean, considering the resume that you're talking about, I think there's a very strong case to be made. The one thing that I'm worried about for him in this fight, and I wonder how you guys feel about it, he was so close to getting the fight. Like, he was locked in. When I spoke to him the day after the fight got canceled, he looked like a bull with steam coming out of his ears, right?
Yeah.
He was so mad. He was 2 weeks away from the fight happening. Now what he has to do is, that was in early February, you have to, or late January, you have to take your foot off the gas, and then you have to ramp up. If Tyson wasn't taking it seriously, he's just going through a nice little training camp now. He had to get better. Maybe he couldn't go full force. But for a guy who was that revved and ready to go, sometimes you peak too early, and that comes back to hurt you. And so I'm really wondering, because he looked so ready. He looked so, he was so mad, because I think he was ready. And so I'm wondering, now you add 3 more months of a training camp, does he have it in him, or did he have it in him, to switch it off and then go through it all over again to peak on May 18th?
You say that. I think the day after I saw him in like some yellow tight pants with music and like just dancing around.
I say, all right.
So I don't know if he's playing games with us.
When fights get postponed, one guy tends to peak a little early because they were so ready to go for that date coming up in a couple of weeks.
No, I was just going to say, they did scramble to try to save that date. I mean, his management team was trying to keep him on that card because they didn't want him doing exactly what you said, stopping. They wanted him to finish the camp, go through with the fight. Unfortunately, for various reasons, they canceled the entire show back in February. But he wanted to go on that February date.
Where do you guys stand on this one? Who do you think will be undisputed heavyweight champion come the evening on May 18th?
Fury. I say he shocks a lot of people, and he turns back the clock, so to speak, and he reminds everyone why he's the man.
I don't doubt a man like Tyson Fury. He's crazy as a fox. I think he's the man to beat at heavyweight, and for Usyk to have to come up from cruiserweight to beat the top dog at heavyweight, it's too much for him, I think.
The jab, the size, the
we got a clean sweep on Fury here.
The mentality, you know what I mean. I just know what it means when you buy into what you're being told to do or what you have to do. I think Tyson Fury's bought in. I think he's the guy at heavyweight, unbeatable. He beats Oleksandr.
Come on, Chris, turn it around.
I bet against Oleksandr Usyk against Tony Bellew. I bet against him against Anthony Joshua. I did it again against Anthony Joshua in the rematch. My days of betting against Oleksandr Usyk are long since over. This guy continues to defy the odds, continues to beat the best. Usyk by decision.
I don't know if you guys want to know what I think, but I think Usyk gets the job done as well. So 3-2, Fury Usyk, which shows how good a fight that is. May 18th, live on DAZN. Someone is going to go home with all that gold. Will it be Tyson Fury? Will it be Oleksandr Usyk? Make sure you tune in to DAZN to find out who. Really, really enjoyed that, chat. Fury 3-2. He took it on the scorecards. Will he take it tonight? The Kingdom Arena looking magnificent. Look at that, Fury Usyk. It really is an incredible arena. Host football, host boxing, and tonight is the world of boxing that takes over. This place has sold out. There isn't a seat in the house, and they're here for everything, including this. Here is the full fight card and what you can expect tonight. We kick things off in the cruiserweight division. David Nyika versus Michael Seat. Someone's O has got to go. They fight for the vacant IBF International Cruiserweight title. We stick in the cruiserweight division. Sergey Kovalev looking to roll back the years as he takes on the very dangerous unbeaten Robin Safar. Mark Chamberlain that takes on Nigeria's Joshua Hub. They fight for the vacant WBC Silver Lightweight title. And then we move to the big boys. The vacant WBO Intercontinental strap is up for grabs. The unbeaten Moses Itauma versus the very dangerous German Ilya Mazenchev. Talking about dangerous, Frank Sanchez versus Agit Kabiel. Two very dangerous heavyweights, unbeaten both of them. They fight for the WBC final eliminator. And then it's all about titles. Joe Cordina versus Anthony Kakache. Unification fight in the super featherweight division. IBF and IBO straps up for grabs. Jai Pataya versus Marius Bradis for the vacant IBF World Cruiserweight title. And then, do I need to tell you, Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for every single belt you can have in the heavyweight division, and some extra belts as well, because we have a few extra ones on display. So many good fights on that. Sticking away, moving away, if you like, from the main event. What undercard fight are you looking forward to most, Chris?
I think the Jaya Pataya rematch with Marius Bradis is going to be an absolute war. I mean, the first fight was terrific. Anytime you have 3 bones broken in a fight, if you count Bradis' nose and 2 sides of Apataya's jaw, you know you got a great fight. And look, I think Bradis is on the back end of his career. He's 39 years old. Apataya's been more active. He's coming off 2 good wins. Jordan Thompson, decisive, dominant performance. Elizoro, 1-punch knockout. But this is really Marius Bradis' last stand. And when I saw him at the weigh-in on Friday, he looked pretty good to me. So I think that fight is going to be one of the best of the night.
Agit Kabayel versus Frank Sanchez. I mean, it's the #1 contender fight, and I feel like the winner of that, I mean, Joseph Parker's kind of floating out there and stuck in no man's land. He just keeps beating people. Who's he going to fight next? I think he might get the winner of that fight, and he's actually going to join us commentary ringside, so I'm really excited about that heavyweight showdown.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Cordina versus Anthony Kakache, a good one as well. You see the QR code on the left-hand side of the screen there. Scan it. You have to scan it to be a part of what is going to be an incredible night. This is the first undisputed heavyweight title fight for 25 years. But as we are talking, you can see the undercard is stacked as well. So make sure to scan the QR code to be a part of something very, very special.
By the way, are you going to be able to make it tonight? We're talking about, you know, can Fury outlast Usyk? You've been running around here. You've got 8 more hours to go, mate. You need some water. You need some electrolytes.
I've got Red Bulls all over the place. I've got water. I've got food. This is easy.
I'm worried about you.
This is easy. And knowing what's coming keeps you going, doesn't it? It does keep you going. We're very, very lucky. We're very, very fortunate. I mean, there's so many broadcasters that love to be right here, right now, covering this fight, and we're covering it for DAZN. Kakache, Joe Cordina, another good one.
I think it's a really good one. Kakache's only got the 1 loss on his resume, and that was to Martin Ward. He's won a few fights in a row since then, and listening to him talk this week, incredibly motivated. Like, he has been waiting for years to get this kind of opportunity to be on the world stage. Look, I think Joe Cordina is the more talented fighter. I think he is the better boxer, but I always wonder about Joe at 130 pounds. He's a guy that came down to 130 from 135 to win his world championship, and I know he's been talking in the past about moving up in weight at some point. How he made weight, what kind of energy he has in this fight, I think that bears watching.
And what about Sergey Kovalev? I mean, he's been the forgotten man since losing to Canelo Alvarez, the crusher. At one point, he was the one fighter in the world that no one wanted to beat. He feels like he's got one more run left in him. We'll see how he looks tonight.
You know, it's strange seeing Kovalev. He's staying in the same hotel as us, and it's just him and one guy. And he's just walking past, and no one's asking for autographs. And I'm like, do you know who that is? Do you know who that was 10 years ago? And he'll be hoping to remind people in a few moments in the ring. Final one, Moses Itauma. Again, there's so many fantastic prospects. He could be the biggest prospect on the card. Unbeaten as a heavyweight. Everyone thinks he's the real deal. We'll see tonight against Mazenchev.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a good test tonight. And I think he's on a big stage, or a great stage, for a fight like this. A lot of talent in Moses, no question about it. Good size, good skill level, and he's looking to make a jump pretty quickly in the heavyweight division. So I think he's going to get a good test. I think it's going to be a good fight.
I'm sure you know this, but he says his goal is not just to become a heavyweight champion. He's 19. He says, I want to do it and become the youngest ever. I want to beat Mike Tyson's record. I think that has to happen by May of 2025. So he's going to have the accelerator going down. And tonight, I think we're going to learn a lot. Like Chris said, it's going to be a test. But if he blows this guy out, who's to say we don't see him in a major fight by the end of the year?
Is that a dangerous thing, that kind of pressure he's putting on himself? I mean, will managers try and fast-track him when he's not ready just to do it? We saw it with Hughie Fury. Didn't quite work out for him, did it? And he's struggling to come back. Is that dangerous or a good motivator?
I think it's a good motivator. And, look, I admire the aggressive nature, the gumption of him. I don't think Mike Tyson's record is in any danger anytime soon. I think he is a very talented prospect, but I think he's going to be on a typical prospect track where he's doing 10, 15, 20 fights before we talk about him as a world championship contender.
All right, prelims are done. That was a bit of a teaser of what you guys can expect on the undercard. But obviously, the main event is between the two big boys, Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk, for everything. For all the marbles on planet Earth, make sure you scan the QR code, get involved, and we'll see you in about 5 minutes.
A tale as old as time. A legendary champion in search of another champion has found his match. A duel that transcends bullets and dust. Both men undefeated. Both men larger than life itself. Facing each other under the watchful eye of history. Beyond blood, sweat, and fire, and the mercy of the rough seas. Moved by the ravaging rival. Oh, sweet rival. And their fists will speak a language older than words. They will speak loudly. And there is just one way to be remembered for all of eternity.